A blockbuster night of box office boxing is locked in at AO Arena Manchester on Saturday, June 17 as Liam Smith faces Chris Eubank Jr. in a high-stakes rematch and undisputed super middleweight champion Franchon Crews-Dezurn puts all her gold on the line against Savannah Marshall. Months of build-up and high tensions in fight week set the stage for a classic encounter in January between Smith and Eubank. With the 20,000 fans inside the sold-out Manchester Arena joined by a huge television audience which set a new domestic pay-per-view record for the weight class. And another sellout is expected in June with fans able to register for tickets today ahead of Friday's general sale. With both fighters eager for a definitive finish, there was little in the way of a feeling-out process. Heavy leather was traded from the opening bell, and it was all over 12 minutes later. The referee stepping in to wave the fight off after Smith emphatically put Eubank Jr. down twice in the first minute of the fourth round. The result did little to settle tensions between the two men, and they rose still further when Eubank's team claimed one of the knockdowns had been the result of an illegal elbow strike. This incensed Smith, who saw it as a display of bad sportsmanship, and Eubank refusing to admit Smith had been the better man on the night. In summer those tensions will soar to new heights as both men return to Manchester Arena in June for a clash which will irrevocably change the course of their careers. For former WBO World Light Middleweight champion Smith, a second win will stamp his authority on the domestic division and set the stage for huge future world title opportunities as he continues his career renaissance under the Boxer banner. Liam Smith said, "I know he tried his best to go a different route, but the fight is on now and I am looking forward to hearing what he has to say for himself in the build-up. Let's see what angle he comes with this time. He can't come with angles about how he's never been hurt, he's never been dropped, he's never been stopped. Because he just had all three of those things happen to him in one night, and it was me who did it to him. So I'm interested to see what he comes with this time, and I'm also interested to see where he goes after I beat him again on June 17th. For Eubank, victory means redemption and revitalizes the prospect of encounters with elite names on the world stage." Chris Eubank Jr. said, "Liam had the night of his life against me in January, the stars aligned for him in Manchester, and he went away with a big win. But lightning doesn't strike twice. If he even has the slightest thought that he can beat me again, then great, because it will be his undoing." Ben Shalom, Boxer founder and CEO, said, "Liam Smith will be looking for a repeat as Chris Eubank Jr. goes in search of revenge in an absolute must-win. At the scene of their first fight in a rivalry that has gripped that nation. And Savannah Marshall will have restitution in mind when she takes on the queen of the super middleweight division Franchon Crews-Dezurn in an all-or-nothing collision for 168 pounds glory where Savannah could create history by becoming a two-weight world champion. This is a huge box office night, and I cannot wait." Wasserman's head of global boxing, Kali Sauerland, said, "Hell hath no fury like a Eubank scorned, and there was no chance Chris was going to let this one lie. He's a wounded animal and this makes him extremely dangerous." No sooner had the fight finished, than Chris made it clear that he wanted to trigger the rematch clause, and on June 17th, he gets his shot at revenge. "Smith, you have been warned. Beast mode is on." Meanwhile, Savannah, the silent assassin, Marshall will challenge undisputed world super middleweight champion Franchon FCD Crews-Dezurn in the co-headline bout. Having headlined a record-setting event at London's O2 Arena in an October challenge against Claressa GWOAT Shields. Marshall's return to the ring places her immediately in another high-stakes encounter against an undisputed world champion with the WBC, WBA, WBO and IBF World Super Middleweight Championships on the line. Crews-Dezurn began her second stint as WBO World Super Middleweight Champion in March 2020. captured the WBC title for a second time in June 2020 and then added the WBA and IBF belts in April 2022 to become undisputed world champion of the weight class. For former world middleweight champion Marshall, the bout is a return to her roots. She commenced her professional career at super middleweight. Her first professional bout taking place on the undercard of the blockbuster Floyd Mayweather Jr. vs. Conor McGregor super fight, which took place in August 2017. Having once held the WBA Intercontinental Super Middleweight Championship before moving up to middleweight and commencing her successful middleweight run, Marshall is going all in on her return to the division and is aiming for immediate undisputed world champion status. Francine Crews-Dezurn said, "I'm so excited that my team and boxer were finally able to get this fight done. I'm looking forward to fighting in Manchester, England, especially against a competitor like Savannah Marshall, who has represented the UK for many years just as I have represented the United States for many years, including as amateurs. This fight has been over 10 years in the making and it's going to be one for the history books. I love to elevate women's boxing and put on a great display for the people here in the UK. The fans have embraced women's boxing so much here and I'm coming for the win, regardless of being in Savannah's backyard or any other adversity stacked against me. I'm full confident in myself and my team and I look forward to putting on a great show for the people." Savannah Marshall said, "I'm grateful to Boxer and Hennessy Sports for getting this fight over the line. This is a big fight for me and a chance to become a two-weight world champion." Peter Kahn, Francine Crews-Dezurn's manager, said, "This is exactly what boxing needs. The best fighting the best. Champions fighting champions, deserving of a shot at undisputed. I have no doubt that Francine and Savannah are going to entertain the fans in Manchester and around the world on June 17th.